I like my life, and I don't want to lose my perspective on life because I feel that through the things I've experienced and the way my brain is wired, I've been able to have a fairly open view and perspective. And similar to you as a child, you really focused on the kind of like spiritual aspects of reality, and I have focused a lot more on the scientific aspects of reality as a child, much more so than I would say most kids I knew growing up did. Whereas most kids were sitting down watching Pokemon, I was taking apart TVs and learning about electrical currents and sitting in the basement with my eyes closed and trying to envision how vast the universe is, to the point where I'd get a headache. And what I think is interesting is,
but I think we all do that.
yeah, but what I think is interesting is I feel those are the same thing, because it's just it's two different sets of binoculars. Whereas, in my perspective, by doing that my entire childhood life, I've forced my mind to bend in ways that it should not bend, trying to pay attention to what quantum mechanics are, or what astrophysics are, or the cosmos, or the beginning of time. And one of the things that I find has helped me feel a really great sense of connectedness, and this is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He says, when people look up at the night sky, they feel small. But when he looks up at the night sky, he feels big. And the reason why is because when you're looking up at the night sky, what do you see? You see stars. And those stars, most of those stars are already gone, because light only travels so far and so fast. And all of those stars, inside of them, have molecules, atoms, and it's those exploding stars that created our planet, that created us. So it's those exploding stars, that stardust, it exists in us. So we are the universe perceiving itself.
Correct.
The universe only exists because we see it. If we were not perceiving it, the universe would not exist. So that's how I feel. So I have that sense of connectedness, and I feel like I maybe didn't have to go down a spiritual route to get there.
The drugs are a fast track, but like Ram Dass, his teacher, Nareem Baba, I'm mixing up his name. The guy was like a gifted yogi, like a body yogi, so it means he didn't really care about his body anymore and lived in that spiritual world. And they dosed him with a bunch of LSD, and he's like, nothing's different.
Yeah.
Because I think there are people, like the techniques that they teach in all these different spiritual arts are to get to that point, I believe, of like realizing oneness.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that is probably the point of why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at all the different cultures, like Kabbalah talks about you're one with God, and then you fall 127 times, or I can't remember the exact steps, you fall a bunch of steps, and your mission through all these different lifetimes, because Kabbalah believes in reincarnation, is to clean your screen to get back to realizing you're one with love, and then you do the cycle over and over again. The most terrifying moment of any psychedelic experience I had is when I got ripped out of my body, and basically some female voice was talking to me and being like, everything here is made up. You've made all this up to entertain yourself, what you just said.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between intellectualizing and feeling it, and my human ego, it was petrified of that fact.
Yeah.
That I've made all this up and all of it's not real.
Yeah.
And it took me 2 years to fully try to integrate what that meant.
Yeah.
And it's still not fully integrated, but...
that kind of reminds me of simulation theory, right?
Well, I was going to talk to you about like when we were talking about Bitcoin, the matrix popped into my mind because it's the illusion of choice. Like there is no, it all ends up in the same place kind of thing. Like,
100%.
But it's like, so then what's the point of living here what's the point then? If what you're saying, if this is simulation, let's say that's right, and this is simulation.
What is the point? Yeah. The point really isn't so much that there is one.
Correct. Can your ego actually handle that?
I think so. If you're okay with ignoring how scary that could be, and just experiencing whatever experience really is to you, because listen, if what we're seeing is true, then it doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. So then just go forward, because it doesn't matter. So you might as well experience what you are experiencing.
So there's a story it's a Buddhist story where there's these two monks. There's the master monk and the disciple. And the master monk is already in a state of enlightenment, and the disciple is trying to hit enlightenment. And he's sitting on top of a mountain, meditating, trying to become enlightened. And the master monk is downstairs or down on the bottom of the mountain chopping wood. Then eventually this lightning strikes through the back of the monk, the disciple, and he's like, and he understands enlightenment, he becomes enlightenment. And he goes down to the master monk and is like, oh my God, I hit this place of enlightenment, I got it. And the master looked to the disciple and was like, okay, cool, can you grab that wood and just keep chopping it with me? So it was like, it's not the destination to get to, it's almost a way to perceive the world, but a time and everything still exists.
Yeah.
And I think so to get back to the psychedelics, and they're great tools, but we have to understand that we have come so far away from the people who used them in the past for these spiritual developments. They already had the idea of oneness. Like, you go to the Amazon, the natives there, they understood that like everything was connected. So their ego wasn't so developed into duality. Here we have been brought into a world of ego and duality to extreme events. Yeah. So for them, the journeys weren't as uncomfortable. They were something that maybe brought them peace and serenity. For us, it can like really alter how you view the world.
Yeah.